Making big power in the 90s, that wasn't an easy thing to do. And here in 2026, our Foxbody Mustangs were never designed to withstand the power levels that we can achieve with the modern day tuning and technology. But we're not really here to talk about horsepower. We're here to talk about a mod that doesn't get a lot of attention, and it's usually pushed to the back burner when we're making our builds. So. It's pretty common to see a Foxbody Mustang that can make 300, 400, 500 wheel pretty easily with just a naturally aspirated build with a 351 Windsor stroker or small turbo kit like we did with Dad's car, budget GT40 Junkyard stuff. In this video, we're going to be breaking down a budget-friendly mod that we got some of the parts over here on the table, and it's going to be one of the mods that we're going to be doing in 2026 with the 393 stroker in the black car. So we did this video several years ago. I felt it would be relevant to bring it back. I got a couple options here. Stuff that we've actually talked about here on Facebook recently in the last few days. Unlike the 90s, in 2025, it's not all that difficult to make horsepower. With the tuning softwares, the Hollies, the Mega Squirts, even good E85 carburetor, there's so many different options. Look at Dad's car. It makes 470 wheel, and it's a Junkyard GT40 build that we made a home-built turbo kit in it. The black car, it has a nasty little cam chop 393 naturally aspirated stroker motor that makes damn near the same horsepower or more, about 500 wheel when we're done with it. And then we have the white car. It makes about 1,000 wheel with a 363 turbo. This stuff wasn't the type of builds that you had back in the 90s. So we didn't really have a problem with brakes. And Foxbody stock brakes in the 90s, well, they just made sense because, well, they weren't important then. Not as much as they are now. You know, achieving 300 horsepower, 400 horsepower back in the day in the 90s and early 2000s, that was a pretty good feat. And that car got down the track in 11s. You know, if you started getting into the tickling the 10s at the track and, you know, miles per gallon, man, you guys all know. Foxbody brakes made sense, and it really wasn't a huge upgrade that was super important, let alone spending a bunch of money on, right? You know, with the Holley Terminator X stuff, the Holley Dominator stuff, 363 stroker, the turbo kits out there, even nitrous, supercharger, running twin turbos, tubular front suspensions. But it's definitely something that you have to address. The more power you make, the faster you go, the faster you go, the faster you got to stop. You know, when you're making about 300 or 400 horsepower, you can get away with, you know, the stock brakes and it not being that much of an issue. I mean, on this old project here, you know, they did a 5-lug conversion using just a cheater rotor that they got from maybe like an SVO, or I think Lincoln was one of the options that you could get for a cheater rotor. And that's basically what we did over here on my black car. So just like the car that you just seen, the little project convertible, our black car just ran a cheater rotor, 5-lug drilled and slotted rotor that's now on Dad's car because I forgot we switched that over. We also had a couple bad struts over here. So that's one of the mods when we take it back over that we can do a good video on and get those budget mod brakes that we got sitting over there that we're about to talk about here on the black car. And we've been meaning to get these brakes on this car. And now we've been I think we went 950s when this car was turbo, and it was really hard to stop. So doing a brake upgrade on the black car is definitely something that's been overdue for a number of years. Back when I first started messing around with Foxbody Mustangs back in the 90s, you could barely make 300 or 400 horsepower. So you weren't spending a whole lot of money on brake systems. It didn't make your car faster. It didn't lower the ET at the track. You didn't make more dyno horsepower because it wasn't really a flashy mod. But it did convert your Foxbody Mustang to 5-lug swap. Having good wheel options was important, but being able to stop your Mustang is always priority. So safety first. And you kind of got them both on that upgrade. With a 5-lug swap, you can get unlimited wheel combos and put them on your Foxbody Mustangs, all the way up to 17s, 18s. That was probably one of the more popular reasons to put 5-lug swap and or upgrade the braking system on a Foxbody Mustang, was for wheel options themselves. But I'm gonna show you here on the table our budget options for the black GT that we got coming up in 2026 that we were gonna put on a number of years ago. And I'm gonna actually compare them with some of the stuff that we have here on the coupe. Now this isn't gonna stay on the coupe, as we're putting the whole K-member and a brake assembly that I'm gonna show you as well from our white car and our coupe here. And you're gonna be able to see a comparison with budget, what the other spindle looks like, and then we're gonna look at some of the high dollar brake systems that they have out there, as we have here in a white car. We'll start off with the higher horsepower. Guys, stock brakes stop your Foxbody Mustang just fine, making 300 wheel, even at 400 wheel. Get you a good drilled and slotted rotor. Get you a good set of pads. I went mid-nines in my black car. Yeah, I was struggling to get it to stop at 1,500 feet, 1,600 feet, you know, when we got past the stripe. I get it. Brakes were kind of one of the mods that you did late, last, whatever, because you were spending all your money trying to keep up with your friends. But when we started making 4-digit power, we went with a strange setup, and this setup right here is about 1,500 bucks. It's super light. It's not really built for the street. Even though we drove it on the street, it's still not built for the street, as you'll get brake fade and you could ruin the brakes themselves. Now, popping over here to the other side, you can see that we actually had to modify the spindle to get these strange brakes to work. See, these are SN95 F4, and we still end up having to use a bump steer just to make all this work. Again, this is a pretty pricey little brake setup. You could end up spending thousands just on your front brakes just to get the car to stop, depending on how much power you make. This is the wheelwood, the same one that I got over there, and we ran all of our cars with copper line, which was pretty easy to bend. It's not perfect, but we made new ends. And you can adjust the brake bias with the knob up here. And what we plan on doing in the black car is we plan on running this same wheelwood that we have over here in the white car. You do have an option to convert the rear disc, but depending on how much power you make, and if you're much like my black car where it's gonna make like 500 wheel, we're not gonna convert the rear disc in our black car. It makes no sense. We're gonna have plenty of stopping power, adjusting the knob over on our proportioning valve. And these Cadillac Brembo 4-piston aluminum calipers will have more than enough stopping power to stop our black car at 500 wheel. We won't need to convert the rear disc whatsoever. This is a really, really good proportioning valve, and this is like 100 bucks at Summit. You can get adjustable proportion valves for about half that. You can get a knockoff brand if you're trying to get budget, but I always had really good luck with this. Now, as far as the caddy brakes, you would think something like this would be super expensive. It's really not. Looking at about $125 a side. Now, I think the driver's side, for whatever reason, or one of the passenger or driver's, I don't know, one of the calipers are a little bit more than the other. Maybe like 20 or 30 bucks, I don't remember. I do remember there being a difference between the two, but it wasn't much. But I'm just going to round up and say 125 bucks a piece. You can get these on Amazon. You can get these from the Junkyard. 2013 and up ATS Cadillac, I think, was the reference. And we bought these spindles years ago. You know, they've been sitting for a while. These are the SN95 spindles, much like we have over here on the black car with the strange brakes. I got these for like 50 bucks a piece. You know, F4, F5, Z. And you don't necessarily have to have the SN95 spindles. They're a little bit more compatible with the Foxbody Mustang when you're trying to do a 5-lug conversion or do a 5-lug disc brakes for a wheel option, whatever you're doing. The SN95 is a little better option, but I'm going to show you. This is the 96 to 01 spindle, probably one of the least desired spindles to use for a 5-lug conversion, as it moves the wheel out about a 1/4 inch and you need a bump steer. But I'm going to be honest with you, you should probably run a bump steer anyways. So here's the formula, and I'm going to spend your tax refund for you. If you got a little bit of money saved from your tax refund, or just have a little bit of money saved, you want to do a good mod for your Foxbody Mustang, run to the Junkyard, grab you a set of 96 spindles. If you happen to find the 94, 95, well, that's a win. Even better, 50 bucks a piece. Got 125 in the calipers each. If you're lucky on the Junkyard swap, you don't even need a wheel bearing, but they're only $50 a piece to replace. This is about 100 bucks. Well, you don't really need to spend 100 bucks, as they have other adjustable proportioning valves that'll work just fine. You'll have some money in the copper lines and some of the fittings, and honestly, we've been 165 in the 1/4 mile in this white car. I have the stock brake booster in it and a $75 Dorman SN95 master cylinder. Hook all that up, and there you have it, your budget brake upgrade. Now, keep in mind, several kits out there that will mount these calipers with the rotors rather easily. I suggest going out there and grabbing those kits when you do this upgrade. But you'll be seeing us actually install this on our black GT this year when we put our 393 stroker in, because you remember when we took the K-member down, we found 2 blown struts. So we got to redo the front end of that anyways, and that'd be the time to put these on. So here I wanted to show you real quick before we finish the video what I was talking about with the 96 to 01 spindle. Now, if you can't find the 94, 95, not a problem. Like I said, 96 to 01 will work just fine. Some of you guys are gonna ask, well, what rotor can you run with? You can run with a stock cheaper Cobra 13-inch rotor, or you could add this to your little list of stuff that you need to buy and get you a nice drilled and slotted rotor. Again, I think this is the 13-inch Cobra rotor, if I'm not mistaken, and that's the one that you need to use when you're switching over to the Brembos and the spindles. So you might as well go ahead and grab a bump steer while you're at it. This is good for dialing in your steering and getting everything set in place exactly where you want it for your 5-lug conversion and your brake upgrade. So if you're new to the Fox body genre and you're not sure exactly what I'm talking about with spindles and junkyard spindles, you can see the difference here on the 9495's got this arm here is notched up, if you want to say, like it's just got like it's raised. There's a raised area here. 96, it's straight, so that does require a bump steer. Now these are old junkyard ones that we had laying around, and you never know when you're going to get a good wheel bearing, so you might be able to save a little bit of money if you have a decent wheel bearing. And this is the type of mod that you can do in your driveway, you can do in your small garage, and you can do it with basic tools to get it upgraded. If you're watching this video and you have done this upgrade, comment below, give me some part numbers for these folks. Don't have the part number for the calipers. You can still get these from the junkyard. You can get this from the junkyard, and you might not even need the wheel bearing. You can buy these at pretty much any retail store like Summit Racing and Jegs. Copper line and brake fitting ends, and even the master cylinder you can get from a parts store. So you don't have to buy the SN95 spindles, but if you can get them for cheap, 100 bucks, 200 bucks, that's still a score. So real quick before we go, if you're into the whole brake upgrade for the rear, if you get the spindles from an SN95, whether it be 96 or 9495, go ahead and snag the rear bracket and the caliper, because you can actually cut this bracket to fit over the axle, and you can install the rear disc on your factory Fox body axle without even taking the axle out of the car. So you can do a little bit of a conversion there using, I think, either turbo coupe or Cobra rear disc. I think they're 10 1/4. I don't recall offhand, but it's just an option. If you're already there, grab these. They're not expensive. If they're in good shape, it'd be worth, you know, putting them in a box and maybe someday using them. We got a lot of work to do here in the shop. We're still working this weekend as we decided to one step at a time with the coupe. I had an issue right here. I cut out a new piece of sheet metal with a stud here, and this is a common issue that we have on the Fox body Mustangs. Plus this weekend we're switching over to the strange shocks that we had, and we're taking some of the driveline apart for the videos next week, because we're going to make a push to get that under the car and the engine and everything in here next Saturday. So if you guys enjoyed the video, leave me a comment below. Let me know some part numbers and what you paid for your swap and where you found your parts or whatever. I just wanted to kind of give you an updated video in 2026. A lot of things have changed in 20 or 30 years. Really wasn't a big push to do, you know, spend thousands of dollars on braking systems in the 90s and early 2000s. But with technology and tuning, cars are making silly power. Even the junkyard builds, the little turbo kits, a lot of things have changed in 20 years. So this is something that, well, without breaking the bank, we can get the car to stop within reason. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate everybody for watching. Check out that join button. Become a member of the channel. It helps to go to do things like we do here in this video. But outside of that, I just appreciate you watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. I love y'all. We'll see you in the next one.